This is OwlUp, where learning happens in minutes, not hours. For a deeper journey, explore all our courses at owlup.co. Now, let's dive in. Welcome to Chapter 1 of our series, Write Your History, Transform How You See Your Story. In this episode, titled, Your Story So Far, Mapping Your Personal History, we'll explore the significant life events that have shaped who you are today. So, grab a cozy seat and let's dive in. About half the people in one classic psychology study changed how often they saw their doctor just by writing about their lives. So here's the mystery. If a few pages of honest story can shift your health, what else might change when you finally map your own story so far? Maybe your life story isn't one story at all. Psychologists like Dan McAdams suggest we each carry a whole cast of inner narrators: the striver, the caretaker, the rebel, the survivor. Different ones take the microphone at different times, at work, with family, when you're alone at 2 a.m. replaying a conversation. The trouble is, most of us never notice who's talking or what script they're reading from. This series is about slowing down that blur. Not to get lost in nostalgia, but to see patterns you've been living inside for years, beliefs about success, love, failure, safety, that quietly steer your choices. As you map turning points and themes, you're not fixing your past, you're learning its language. Like a good chef tasting as they go, you'll start adjusting ingredients in the present so the next chapter doesn't have to follow the last one's recipe. Some people sketch this story so far as a simple timeline. Others cluster it around roles: student, partner, parent, creator, or themes: risk, belonging, loss, curiosity. None of these formats is right. Each one highlights different parts of your experience, like changing the lighting in a room. Rather than hunting for a single definitive version, you'll experiment with a few angles and see what surprises you. Odd details, an offhand compliment, a move across town, a job you nearly took, often matter as much as the obvious milestones like graduations or breakups. Those small scenes can reveal the quiet rules you've been living by. Psychologists who study narrative identity have noticed something odd. When people start putting their lives into words, they don't just list events. They instinctively organize them into scenes, chapters, and arcs, whether they realize it or not. That's what you'll start to surface now. Not just what happened, but how your mind has been arranging it. One useful move is to zoom out from isolated memories and look for plot lines. A plot line is a thread that shows up across different years and situations: proving I'm competent, keeping the peace, never needing anyone, finding my people, avoiding conflict, pursuing beauty. The specific events change, the underlying intention doesn't. Research by Dan McAdams and others suggests these recurring threads carry a lot of your sense of identity, who you think you are when no one's watching. To spot them, start by gathering raw material before you try to interpret it. Think in terms of scenes, moments you could almost film. A night you stayed late to help a classmate. The phone call where you said yes to a move. The day you hit a big mistake instead of admitting it. You're looking for situations where something small felt strangely big, or where you still feel a tug when you remember it, even if you're not sure why. Next, cluster a few scenes that feel somehow related. Maybe they all involve you stepping up as the responsible one, or walking away the moment things get emotionally intense. Only after you have a cluster do you try to name the thread. Keep the labels simple and neutral: stepping in to organize, escaping pressure, chasing novelty, staying invisible. You're not judging, you're tagging. Don't worry if some threads seem contradictory. Many people discover they carry both needing to be admired and hiding so I can't be criticized, depending on the context. Narrative researchers actually expect this kind of tension. It's part of a complex, flexible identity rather than a flaw. Finally, notice where certain plot lines start and stop. Does being the helper fade when you change cities? Does outworking everyone explode after one humiliating moment in school? Those edges, where a pattern suddenly appears or disappears, often point to turning points you haven't fully named yet. That's where we'll go next, tracing how specific episodes gave certain plot lines power in your life so far, and how you might gently renegotiate them. Maybe one of your scenes is you as a kid, quietly fixing a group project while everyone else goofs off. Another is last year, staying late to finish a deck your teammate dropped. On their own, they're just memories. Put side by side, they hint at a thread. I'm the one who makes sure things don't fall apart. Or take 3 totally different moments, canceling a trip at the last minute, ghosting on a promising collaboration, shelving a creative idea the moment someone shows interest. Different years, different people, same inner move. Back away when stakes feel real. You might not have noticed that through line until you see those scenes touching. You can even include half-formed memories, the job you almost applied for but didn't, the message you wrote and never sent. Those near misses often expose plot lines like, only try if I'm sure I'll win, or don't rock the boat. As you collect these, you're not diagnosing yourself, you're building a richer cast list for your inner storytellers so you have more than one script to reach for. A mapped past quietly reshapes what feels possible next. As you mark scenes and threads, notice how some chapters suddenly look less like failures and more like early drafts of skills you're still refining. Future plans can then borrow from those drafts, the way a chef reuses stock to deepen a new soup. Expect some discomfort. It often means you've hit a live wire worth exploring, ideally with trusted people or professionals who can help you hold the bigger picture. As you keep collecting scenes, you may notice tiny edits in how you tell them. Less blame here, more curiosity there. Like tweaking a playlist until it finally fits your mood. That's a sign your narrative is loosening. You're not erasing chapters, you're gaining director's cuts and alternate endings you couldn't see while you were still inside the moment. To go deeper, here are 3 next steps. 1. Print or download a free Life Timeline worksheet from positivepsychology.com and spend 20 minutes plotting key scenes from your story so far, especially the turning points and chapter breaks the episode talked about. 2. Grab a copy of Donald Miller's Story-Worthy Life or his classic A Million Miles and 1,000 Years, and use one chapter tonight to title each season of your life like a book chapter. For example, The Year I Left Home, The Winter I Got Brave. 3. Open a free account in an app like Notion or Milanote and create a story map board with 3 columns: past chapters, present chapter, next chapter. Then drop in photos, old emails, song links, or mementos that visually anchor the scenes you just mapped, so your personal history becomes a living, growing storyboard you can keep building on. This was OwlUp, your daily step forward. To keep learning with structured courses and more insights, go to owlup.co. Until tomorrow!